So the votes are in, and ladies and gentlemen, Wyatt Hendrickson is your Hodge Trophy winner for the 2025 NCAA wrestling season. It was very close, very narrow. I believe the result actually was swayed by the fan vote, which counts for 5 total votes, and the difference was 4 points or something like that. But essentially, Wyatt Hendrickson wins the Hodge. Very close, but he is your winner. Now, if you don't know, the criteria that we use these days is record, dominance, bonus point percentage, quality of competition, and then sportsmanship. That's our 4 tier criteria system. So a lot of people have been. There was a lot of discussion about who should have been the Hodge winner, and between Carter Starachi and Wyatt Hendrickson, why one person deserved it over the other. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's too close to really say this person versus that person. But obviously, somebody has to win. I mean, except for that one time where they did a split Hodge. We don't talk about that though. So if we break it down and take a look at it here, Wyatt Hendrickson 27-0, Carter Starachi 26-0. Record wise, that's basically the same. It's a wash. One win, maybe you can say something about, maybe you can't. I don't know. 81% bonus for Wyatt, 84% bonus for Starachi. Again, that's kind of just that one extra match. So if Wyatt Hendrickson doesn't wrestle Colton Schultz, I think he had a decision against him in the regular season, doesn't wrestle him, then it's 26-0, 84% bonus for each. Now, pins, which is kind of what Dan Hodge, what it used to be about, was pinning people. They changed it because there just weren't as many pins these days. Wyatt Hendrickson has 13 pins. Carter Starachi has 6. So more than double one versus the other. Now, dominance, does it always come down to pinning? Kind of. But tech falls are also impressive equally. And Starachi has slightly more bonus. In terms of quality of competition, I would also say that it's probably a pretty even split. You have at heavyweight many returning All-Americans, multiple-time All-Americans, returning national champ, and a 2-time national champ and an Olympic gold medalist. There's a lot of good there. And then Carter Starachi is dealing with Parker Keckeisen and then some quality freshmen and quality returning All-Americans. So I would maybe lean Wyatt, but not necessarily. Then sportsmanship, that pretty easily goes to Wyatt Hendrickson. And that honestly might ultimately have been the difference maker between these two, was the fact that you can reference to a match. Carter Starachi wrestled Lehigh wrestler and gave up a team point for some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct. So you can point directly to that and say sportsmanship goes in favor of Wyatt Hendrickson. Now, some people are upset because the criteria used to be different. It changed in 2022, I believe. It used to be a 7-point criteria. Now it's down to 4 points. So the 7-point used to be record, pin count, dominance, past credentials, quality of competition, sportsmanship, and heart. You can kind of lump sportsmanship and heart together a little bit. Past credentials, it's supposed to be a 1 year at a time thing. It's supposed to be replicable of the Heisman Trophy in football. So, this is why they kind of started to take some things out or lump some things together. Record, and let's take a look at this, and let's just apply this 7-point system to Wyatt and Carter's year. So record, again, basically the same. Maybe lean Wyatt a little bit because of one extra match, maybe. Pin count, Wyatt more than double. Okay, dominance. So there is a way to calculate a dominance score, which is basically, from what I understand, it's you take each match and however many points you would score in a duel. So a decision is 3, major 4, tech 5, and pin 6. And then you average it out. And Wyatt had a 5.17, which all I could read was that it was more. I didn't do the math to verify that was that or to check what Starachi's was, but Wyatt has more than double the number of pins, so it makes sense. Dominance. Oh, no, that is the dominance score. Past credentials. Okay. Carter Starachi's a 4-time national champ, now a 5-time national champ. Pretty hard to surmount that. Nobody else has ever done it. Wyatt Hendrickson beats an Olympic gold medalist in the finals, and his previous seasons he had the pin. He got the pin award at the end of, I think, 2 of the seasons, or maybe even 3 of them. I don't know. So a lot of dominance in his past too. I would still lean Carter. 4 national titles, 2 career losses is insane, but it's not as just cut and dry, or it's not as overwhelmingly one-sided as people I think would probably suggest. Quality of competition, I would probably lean, just for this one season, still a split. But if we include previous seasons, especially when Wyatt was at Air Force and that was the season that he was wrestling, I would lean Carter Starachi for sure. And then sportsmanship and heart, I would go for Wyatt. He's always been a stand-up character. Carter Starachi has kind of shown that he plays into a little bit of a heel role, which is totally fine if that's what you want to do. It's just you don't win Hodge trophies doing that stuff. So here are my thoughts. At the end of the day, the Hodge Trophy belongs to the wrestler that is the most dominant. So with quality of competition considered, I think the call's right. I think the call probably would have been right either way. Because Wyatt Henderson, he didn't wrestle a bunch of PUDs. He beat an Olympic gold medalist. And in that moment, I mean, the entire year, everybody was talking about who's going to win Hodge. Carter Starachi, Gable Steveson, Mitchell Mesenbrink. These are the people that were in the conversation. And so Wyatt Henderson, when he goes out and beats one of the guys, one of the most impressively credentialed guys at that, you gotta lean towards Wyatt. So this was a weird Hodge vote and a weird Hodge Trophy. I think it's because it was so contentious, but people were tweeting out who they voted for before the announcement was made, which felt weird. I don't think people should do that. I think they should leave things behind closed doors until the vote is announced or the results are announced, because it just feels weird. But and if you don't know, the way it works is there's 5 first place votes that go to the fan vote, and then I think it's 30 something media credentialed people get their voter ballots, and then the previous Hodge winners get their voter ballots as well. And that's like so that's like 70 total something there, plus an extra 5 from the fan vote. You count the ballots from that, and then you get your Hodge winner. And it was narrow, but it was Wyatt Henderson, and that's pretty cool for Oklahoma State. It's pretty cool for a Kansas native kid. That's where my heavy bias comes in. But yeah, I think it's awesome. What do you think? Do you think that they got this right? Do you think that it should have been Carter, or maybe Wyatt, didn't wrestle the quality competition or whatever? Or maybe Mitchell Mesenbrink should have had more of a realistic look than just these two. So I don't know. You go ahead and tell me in the comments what you think. And yeah, that's it.